Ndị be anyị na Bọlachi, anyị sị ka ọ dịrị unu na mma, anyị sị ka nke onye chikwelu ya zelu. Dịka o si dị, ya bụ Igbo Media ka anyị si bịa na uhuruchi nketa iwetara unu ya bụ ozi gbasara maka ihe na-eme na the Old Eastern Region. Dịka unu anụ ka o si ada, nwanne anyị nwoke wetara anyị ozi n'elu akwụkwọ. International Criminal Court, United Nations, European Union has finally responded to Nigerian government on injustice against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the Biafran freedom. Hear the news in details. Ediko sidu munne mo ya masim ka ta onu ntige ni ifo one night wetere no boss nketa na nilu akwukwo na Eastern News 24 beba isi wetere ya bozi. Diko ni yegi ya bife ka bana ruko ndi ya tia ni fa one night ku nilu akwukwo. All right, over to you, sir.
Report in Abuja that Nnamdi Kanu's radio broadcast incited violence and disrupted the economy in Nigeria's southeast. Now, testifying under anonymity, a DSS operative said Kanu used his platform to enforce IPOB's sit-at-home orders violently through the Eastern Security Network, that's the ESN. The court also heard that Kanu smuggled a radio transmitter into Nigeria, disguised as household item, and referred to it as a nuclear weapon for Biafra. Well, according to some of them, video clips of 16 broadcasts and a flash drive was admitted as evidence in court. Interesting conversation that seemed not to want to leave us anytime soon. I'm going to come to the studio, Dr. Peter. Jesus, I hope I'm going to start. Let me start getting to it. Dr. Peter. All right, let's get to it. Nnamdi Kanu is still in custody. And the DSS is coming out to give these statements as, of course, an evidence to, push up their case. Is there the possibility that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu might not gain freedom anytime soon, even though this case is currently getting some speedy response?
Well, after the prosecutors had done their arguments, there will be cross-examination. There will be cross-examination, and it is the prosecutor is paid to win his cases.
Right.
That's what I mean. So they are doing what they are doing. They are supposed to do. That's what I mean. So then the defense that Nnamdi Kanu assembled, it is their responsibility to counter what the prosecutors brought before the judge.
Right.
So if a radio station, because we have different kinds of radio stations, understand me? Even we have community radio.
Right.
We have online radio and so on and so forth. So if it's a crime to own a radio station, understand? They have that to prove it. If they can also bring people that will give evidence that it is what they heard over Nnamdi Kanu's radio that made them to go and start burning houses or killing people. They should also bring those people, because a judge passes his judgment based on the evidence before him
and the arguments by the corresponding lawyers.
So the weight of the argument.
Right.
So the prosecutors can say whatever they want. Understand? So whether Nnamdi Kanu will be getting freedom anytime soon, it's for the court to decide, not for me to decide.
Okay, now let's also talk to the fact that the DSS is saying that Nnamdi Kanu smuggled a radio transmitter into the country, and of course, in a disguise, calling it a household item. And to think that a radio transmitter is being, because of course the little I know of radio transmitters, it's supposed to be mounted, they're supposed to be test run and all of that. Now, on the part of the Broadcasting Corporation of Nigeria, that's NBC, do you think they also did their due diligence to have acknowledged that there was an airwave somewhere in the East that was broadcasting without their consent? That's on one part. Then secondly, if as it stands, just like you mentioned, the judge is also going to get to hear one or two persons who went into action as a result of the broadcast.
DSS has to produce.
Yes, that's if they produce someone. In that regard, don't you think that that might even indict the person of Nnamdi Kanu even more?
When they produce
evidences,
people that said that is what they heard over the radio.
Yes.
So somebody who committed murder will go to court and say that it's what Nnamdi Kanu told on the radio that made him that commit murder, and the judge will tell him that to go.
Well, that seems to be another part of the conversation, Dr.
Because it is not only him that heard what Nnamdi Kanu said.
Oh yes, that's another major argument.
I heard it too, and I never burned any house. I never killed anybody.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay. That's another conversation.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to our Benin studio, Comrade Ibrahim. What's your take in this conversation as well?
Oh, thank you very much. I just want to say that, I'm wondering where the dimensions of the prosecution is going. Whether it is now incitement to violence that we are talking about now with the prosecution. Is that what they are now pushing? Because it appears that every day there's a new dimension to the case. That's the first thing that I see.
Right.
Then we just wanted to establish whether it is criminal to import a transmitter, a radio transmitter, and to operate a radio station if it's a criminal offense, or whether the crime there is that he didn't get permission or approval by the regulatory body. So for me, these snippets of allegations or accusations, as it were, over the trial, it does not paint a very coordinated picture. With all due respect, that's my first opinion as to when I heard this latest round of maybe prosecution statements, or I don't want to call them allegations, prosecution statements, could say. So, is it a crime to own a transmitter or to operate a radio station? If it is not, the crime would be, did he get approval? And then, like, of course, the guest in the studio, the Dr. has already talked about the fact of the issue of incitement. Can Nnamdi Kanu be held culpable? Can he be held liable for the activities of other, criminals? Would it be a justifiable accusation to say that, well, Mr. A committed a crime, and his motivation is the, with all due respect, flowery language. A lot of things that Nnamdi Kanu said in some of the publicly available broadcasts that he did that were not very flowery, unsavory, so to say. So the fact that, yes, he made those statements, does it remove culpability from the criminals who, as a result of, and he spoke to that point too, where I agree with him that, yes, he had those statements too, those broadcasts too. Yeah. Did he go on to commit crime? So if Mr. C, in this case, let's say Dr. Anosike, also heard what Mr. A heard, and as a result, he didn't put to action some of those, or he was not moved to commit crime. It means that the individual who would not plead that plead for leniency or absolution on the ground that he was only motivated by the statement by Nnamdi Kanu will not fly in the face of.
Ngwano dalo nine no ụmụnne m dịka si na-esoro anyị n'Igbo Media, gịnị kunu nwere ikwu na nkọwa nke unu gbasịta maka ihe unu n'iru akwụkwọ n'ụbọchị uhuruchi nke taa? Gwa anyị ife iche n'ụdị nke gị, deela ya n'akara kọmentị ka mara ihe i chere ma chetakwa tụsa ya bụ ozi ka o wereta ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị. Ndewo na ụmụnne m, ka emesịa nụ.